Good morning, guys. We are up here in Capas right now. It's not even maybe a half hour outside of Angeles City, WWII area. We're up here at the memorial, I guess you would call it, a memorial park to commemorate the Bataan Death March. So yeah, we're up here right now and we're going to check things out and show you around the area here. Here's the memorial right here. Pretty neat, pretty impressive. If you're not familiar with the Bataan, I guess I'm saying it right, Bataan Death March, Google it, check it out. I mean, there's so many stories about it and some of the horrific things that happen here. Let me just walk around here and show you the park, little memorial area here. And some of the things I was reading last night, I got online and was reading some of the things that happened. The Death March started down in Manila, Corregidor, right? Yeah. Down around Corregidor, when the Japanese soldiers invaded the Philippines. It was considered, when the United States surrendered down there, it was considered the largest American surrender ever in U.S. history. And they took the soldiers, Philippine soldiers, American soldiers, and started the Death March. It was called the Death March. These guys marched for 6 days. I think I was reading online where they only had stopped one time to eat. Like one day they ate and the other days they just marched. Very vicious. The Japanese were very, very vicious on the march. They bayoneted soldiers. They beat soldiers on the head with the butts of their weapons. If you fell down, they shot you. What else were they saying? Like, the Japanese were coming through with their tanks and trucks. They would purposely swerve and hit the soldiers as they were marching. It was a vicious, vicious march. One guy was telling his story how he was marching and he just didn't know how he was going to survive. He realized after one day, if you fell down or if you got hurt, you were going to get killed. So what he would do is he'd march and he'd pick out something in front of him, march to that point, pick out something in front of him again, march to that point. And he said that is how he survived the Death March. The Japanese, like I said, they were vicious. They just shot people, killed people, punched people. They did whatever they wanted to do. And I'll get you some numbers then as far as how many were killed and how many were had died along the way. Like I said, they got up to San Fernando. Once they hit San Fernando, they were put on boxcars. And then the boxcars, then what they did was they filled them up. They said they were put 150 guys inside these boxcars, and they said the guys died inside the boxcars because of just heat exhaustion. I mean, it was bad. I was reading stories where they were walking and, you know, they walk right by like a spring or a pipe, just, you know, oozing out water, and they couldn't stop and drink, and because if they were to stop and drink, the Japanese soldiers would kill them. So yes, it was very vicious Death March. I think I was reading online where once they got up Fort O'Donnell, is that the name of the fort? Where they were sent to Fort O'Donnell. Is it Fort O'Donnell? I think it's Fort O'Donnell. And once they reached there, they were there for 3 years. They had no clue what was going on. The Japanese were giving them propaganda videos, telling them how they had conquered all the Philippines and conquered the majority of the world. They had no clue what was going on, only what the Japanese were telling them. But yeah, here is the view from down by the road. from up here. It's kept very clean, very well maintained. And you know what, guys? It was raining pretty much all morning. We got here and the sun came out, so that's nice. It's nice the sun came out. Looking for some kind of plaque too, where they wrote something on to let you know about the march and let you know about the history of this park right here. So let's see if we can find something. Alright guys, I didn't see any plaques around here to read to let you know anything about the park or anything, or why, the history of why they put this up. I'll have to check online. But yes, that's the memorial that they put up here for the Death March. We're going to head down the road to the, I think it's a national park, National Memorial Park, and check that one out. I checked that out online, and it seems to be bigger than what this one is. So anyways, let's head down the road and let's check out the other national park. All right guys, I am standing out on the highway right now, and here's the view from the highway. Like I said, if you're coming from Angeles City, which is down that way, it's only a half hour at the most. You go through Banban, and it's down outside Banban maybe 5 minutes or so. It would be on your left-hand side. You can't miss it. Well, I'm not going to say that because I seen it as I drove by. It's on the left-hand side. Let me get across the street here. Admission fee is 10 pesos per adult, 5 for students. From what I'm seeing, it seems like it's a picnic area. But the picnic area is open, but they even have a couple little like stores inside that sell things, but they're closed. I don't know if it's seasonal or what it is. But here it is, Death March Memorial Shrine, Capas Tarlac. You go in, you pay. There's a gentleman up there on the right-hand side in a little shack. He collects your money. Yeah, here it is. Here's the fees, 5 pesos for students, adults, and others 10. They have a swimming pool behind the shrine. Like I said, I think it's maybe a little park, because you can see they have rental cottages also, but nothing really going on. So we're going to head down the road and we are going to check out the other national shrine. All right guys, we are now at the Capas National Shrine. It's about a half, not even a half hour from the Death March Memorial. What's the entrance fee? Entrance fee is 20 pesos for non-citizens or non-residents of the Philippines, and 40 pesos for foreigners. I asked, since I'm a 13A, a permanent resident, if that will qualify me for a 20 peso entrance fee, and he said yes. So if you're a permanent resident, you can get in for 20 pesos. I mean, come on, 20 pesos difference. Got to ask, make sure. And then a parking fee. Yeah. Parking fee was 40. So 40, 20, so we spent 80 pesos to get into the park and park. But so yeah, let's check out the park here. All right guys, here's the boxcars I was telling you about, where the soldiers were loaded into these boxcars in San Fernando, and then in these boxcars they were brought up here. I was reading where, let me show you really quick here. If you want to freeze it, and I don't know if you can read that. If you want to freeze it, or like I said, go online to Google, and it's all explained right there about the boxcars. One guy was saying his account of it was they were stuffed inside these boxes, and it was so hot, 113 degrees. A couple of the guys that were in the box with him didn't make it. They suffocated. You know, when these guys were loaded in here, you know, this was after they marched. So these guys were hot and they were tired. And the Japanese, they used heat torture on the guys. If you've been to the Philippines, you know how hot it gets. And they would march, and when they would stop, they wouldn't allow them to get into the shade. They wouldn't allow them to get, cover. They would sit inside, or they would sit outside in the heat and just sit there and cook. These guys were, I mean, I'll tell you what, if you made the march, you were one tough dude. I mean, crazy the things I'm reading, and sad, heartbreaking. But you can see the boxes. They are not very big. Let me get Lut, and I'll put Lut in front of it so you can see. Or Lut, come here. Stand in front of that boxcar. So Lut's going to stand in front of the boxcar. Now, you know, Lut's about what, 5 foot what? 4'11". Or 4'11"? You're 4'11"? She's 4'11". All right, so you figure the average American man and the average, well, Filipino, what are they, about 5'11", between 5'11", 6, something like that. Now you can imagine 150 dudes in some of these cars packed in. Yeah, very sad. But yep, here's the boxcars. Here's another, I don't know what it is, we're going to find out. It's part of the park system here. And I don't know, we're going to find out. Find out what it is. Guys, and there's no smoking here. No smoking allowed. Republican Act 9211. It says this is Defenders Hall. That's Defenders Hall. It looks like it's open. And well, let's walk up here. Yeah, we'll walk up here first and check this out. Alright, so this memorial is in memory of the American dead, O'Donnell War Personnel Enclosure, 1942. Battling Bastards of Bataan. Bataan or Bataan? Bataan. Bataan, there it is, Bataan. From what I was reading, in June of 1942, the Japanese authorities at the American side of the prisoner of war enclosure at Camp O'Donnell, 2 kilometers north of this site, presented the prisoners with some cement. The American prisoners decided to build a cement cross in honor of the memory of their dead comrades. Completed later that month, the cross remained hidden amidst tall grass until it was discovered by returning American forces in 1945. Left where it originally stood, unknown to most and battered by the elements, the cross was again forgotten, rediscovered by the Bataan veterans visiting the area in 1961. The cross became the historical symbol of the American prisoners of war enclosed in its dead. When American military representatives when the American military presence ended in the Philippines in 1992, the cross was brought to the National Historical Site, Andersonville, Georgia, USA, where it is now kept and displayed. The original and this replica stands as a reminder of Americans' precedents before the outbreak of World War II. Freedom is not free. So this is not the original cross. The original cross is down in Georgia. So as you guys just heard me read that, they built a cross in memory of their dead. And here are the names of the soldiers. Some of these are new, added in 2004, previously identified. This is a wall. There's another one added in 2004. Battling Bastards of Bataan. Alright, let's go check this memorial out over here and see what this one's about. This is just another memorial for the dead that died up here. It's hard to read, it's kind of weathered. But these were, memorial for the POWs, POW Group 1. These appear to be officers' names. P.O.W. Group 1 and then dates. P.O.W. Group 1 and then dates. Yeah, these are officers. These all appear to be officers' names. Chief Brigadier, Head Lieutenant Colonel. P.O.W. Group 3. Some more memorials. Alright guys, this Defenders Hall has a lot of photos in here and a lot of captions below it. So you can read just certain things about the march and the POW camp up here. Also over here on this wall, photos of the construction of the park. And this is Defenders Hall. Just wanted to show you inside here quick. All right, I just seen this. The planting of 31,000 trees is dedicated to the Filipino and American soldiers who were incarcerated and died in the concentration camp National Shrine area during the Second World War, and to promote environmental consciousness in the preservation of trees. All around the park here, all around the memorial and the shrine. We're actually on our way out, and I stopped and I seen that and I wanted to check it out. But the shrine's up there to the left, but all these trees that are planted all through the park here, 31,000 trees dedicated to the American and the Filipino soldiers who were incarcerated and died. All right, now I'm standing outside the main memorial up here on the park. That is the main memorial. And inside there is a circle wall with names of those that died. Kind of reminds me of the Vietnam Veteran Memorial Wall when I was down there. Those that aren't familiar with that, back in the States, Washington, D.C., they have a Vietnam Veterans Memorial Wall commemorating those that died during Vietnam. So yeah, we haven't been in yet. We're going to go in there and check it out. Just name upon name upon name. Appears to be all in alphabetical order. Official troop count on Bagac. What's that say? April 13th, 1942. 74,800 Filipinos and 11,796 American. This memorial is dedicated to the brave men and women who defended the might of the invaders at Bagac, Corregidor, and other parts of the Philippines during World War II. Thousands died in battle during the Death March and while in captivity. Thousands more endured inhumane conditions at the prison camp in Capas National. They suffered in the night so their countrymen would wake to the dawn of freedom. Estimated death march. There it is, estimated death march. April 9th to the 15th, 1942. 6,600 Filipinos, 9,900 Americans. Those were the estimated death marchers. Estimated defenders who reached Capas. 45,692 plus Filipinos and 9,300 Americans. foot out here. These are just some of the plaques that are up here on the memorial, the National Shrine. Capas concentration camp. This is inside the shrine. Do not climb the stairs. Not safe. Huh. And here's up inside the shrine. So that would be challenging, climbing the stairs. It's funny, they don't put no gates up, no fences up, nothing to stop you from climbing it. And I'm sure people have probably tried to climb it. All right, guys. Never fails. Always something. I don't know if you can see it in there, or if you can see it up here, but it is starting to cloud up. You see the sky starting to cloud up. Things are getting dark, and it's going to start pouring. And you know what? We didn't get the drone up again. Loda's carrying the drone. It's right there. And I'm not going to take it up in this rain. It's gonna start raining. I mean, it's dark and it's coming this way. Sorry, guys. Next time. Sorry to disappoint, but like I said, look at all these little dragonflies flying all over the place here. I don't know if the camera's picking that up, man. There's a ton of these little dragonflies.
That's because there's a lot of trees.
Yeah. You can see it's getting dark that way and it's coming this way. So, but anyways, guys, here's the park. I showed you what I could show you of the park. I mean, this is the park. It is, I'm going to say, you know what, 45 minutes at the most from Angeles City. Today is Saturday, and traffic was not bad, so there wasn't, you know, the major headache of the traffic. And as you can see, it's not very full here. But yeah, I mean, if you guys are up here, you know, if you're in Angeles City, you're living in Angeles City, or you're coming to Angeles City to, say, be with family, friends, or if you're just visiting Angeles City to hang out in Angeles City, if you can get the opportunity to come up here and check this out. You know, people say, well, what's there to do in Angeles City? Well, here's something to do. I mean, if you're coming up here and hanging out up in Angeles City for a week or two, and you want to get out during the day and check things out, this is the place. Right up MacArthur. You don't need a car. You can ride a motorcycle. I would say rent a motorcycle if you can. Take a motorcycle up and rent a motorcycle and come check this out. I mean, it's neat to see. It is part of American history. It's part of Filipino history. It's part of history of World War II. But yeah, I mean, it's cool. I mean, I think it's neat. But anyways, we gotta...
The rain was started.
Yeah, we gotta head back. Harder. It's starting to come down. It's getting harder. Look, got anything to say?
Oh, no. Just, I know, if you haven't subscribed to his channel yet, please subscribe. Give some thumbs up, thumbs down. Choose all is yours. Until next time. Yeah, there it is, guys. And like I said, we are coming up on 20,000 subscribers. Yes. And if you've been watching the channel and you haven't subscribed, take the time to subscribe. We got to hit that milestone, 20,000. So anyways, guys, we got to get to the car before it starts downpouring. You can see it. It is starting to rain. And we got to get to the car, guys. And tomorrow is another day and the journey continues.